Cavecast, the uncensored show for nerds of all kinds.
All right, guys, before we get started, we just wanted to thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to spend time with us and to dive into the rest of this album. We got through part one, and we knew with our gas that we had in that moment that there was no way in hell we could do these last four songs without doing a fresh episode. But before we jump into Even Arcadia, guys, just so you know, is that we do have a members thing on the channel that for 99 cents, you get the pre-show, which we actually just got done shooting. You also get your name at the end of every episode. So if that's something that you would like to do to support us, you do get some perks. So that's something that will help keep the show going. You guys, are supporting us in every single way, but that's one of the good ways to be able to do that. Liking, commenting, and subscribing is also one of the best ways to be able to help us as well too. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting night, and there's no way to go about this rather than just one step at a time. And I think that starting with Provider and knowing where we're at in that side of the story, it's kind of like, all right, well, it's sexy time, but stemming from what we talked about in part one, both of us have a very different view of the flow of this album and like what's going on. So yeah,
but even at that, speaking of the flow, how interesting is it that we go from Even in Arcadia to Provider?
Yeah.
Okay, so at least for me now, and I guys, I tried to like read the comments. Y'all showed the fuck up.
Yeah,
for some comments when we were both like, "Hey, Dangerous and Even in Arcadia, let us know what you think. What is your?" And I'm like, "Holy shit!"
And side note, guys, we are going to do an episode where we're going to read your fan theories and stuff.
Oh yeah,
for sure that is going to happen.
Oh yeah,
so yeah.
But if we go, so for me, the way that this album is going, and if I'm looking at it, my point of view, I'm going from Even in Arcadia to this whole. Even when I'm trying to be happy and all this, that death, suicide, the Grim Reaper, bad things and stuff is always there, right? To then directly into Provider.
Get distracted.
But yeah. I want to be like, you hurt me, but you know what? Fine. Like, I still want to do this. Because it's like, it's in my nature. It's in my thing. Like, it's my life's goal to be this thing because you are my prized possession.
You were my favorite color.
I'm gonna say like it's even kind of it's even brought up and stuff like this, but like that's how I take this. And like I said, with my flow and talking about how I view it, but when we both talked about how this album's songs go into each other and how they are, I don't want to say broke up, but pieced together by sadness, lust, like almost in this kind of, again, cycle.
It's the cycle we've been following since the EPs, Right. Specifically, I would say more so Sundowning, but yeah.
But guys, we say this all the time, especially with Sleep Token. Sleep Token and kind of 21 Pilots, the way he starts off a song, it's just, I want to be your provider. Straight to the point.
Yeah. Vocals are there first. No instruments are there. It's Vessel's voice. Yeah.
And it's just it's the way garner you and silk like a spider, man. Like it's this weird thing where I don't know if it's supposed to be the reason him saying a spider because of the fact of like, we know that kind of like both sides of things here where he's the kind of the more forward one and she's kind of the more reserved one. Like, is the spider reference because it's kind of scary for her? Spiders are scary to people sometimes. So I wanted to get your point of view on that. And there was a spider in Alkaline.
See, this is where
it was in a box.
That was actually one of the more visceral reactions because guys, like I don't necessarily have like arachnophobia. Like it's one of those like dude, I don't kill house spiders. They keep.
I don't know if I don't know what they are is what freaks me. I was like, I don't know what you're gonna do to me.
The second that a spider has is big enough to have hair and hiss and make a noise that when it hits the ground, I'm out. I'm like, I can't do it. Like, it's like, no, dude, it's like nothing deserves to be that big. But the spider, yes, that was an Alkaline. Like that one was I know that was a moment that when I saw it for the first time that like, I mean, you can see it happen in the video where I shouted, whoa.
Yeah.
Because it was just that thing of like, wait, like, are we going into creature mentality right now?
That's
like,
kind of,
like, Vessel's controlling all this. Like, what does this mean? Like, what is this?
And like you say, he's controlling it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're right.
The
like
vines, everything. Yeah.
You know, it really didn't hit me until just now that the fact of that, and then the spider. And so again, did this motherfucker know he was going to write Provider with these lyrics back in Alkaline?
Well, with him, I wouldn't put it past him that he was that
Had
prepared.
some kind of,
But there's also, there's two ways that you can look at the spider line, because even when we reacted to it, there were a few people, it wasn't an overwhelming thing, but there were a few people that said, no, when a spider garners something in silk, it's either prey or it's something it's protecting.
Right.
So
yes,
in this aspect is that it's kind of like, well, how do you take Provider? Do you take it as a negative thing or do you take it as a positive thing? Because in the way that I'm viewing the album is that I think that Provider is probably, and I'm going to be careful with this because I don't want to I want to get too personal on these types of topics, but it's one of those that like, no, dude, I relate to this a lot. Like, it's,
I get you
very much. It's that thing of that, like, without even really getting into like the specific lyrics yet, but as a general thing is that it's like when you know for a fact that the person that you're with has not been loved properly, that they've been they've had negative things that have happened to them that with this part of their life. And it's that thing where it's like, no, like, baby, let me take care of you.
Well,
it's like we already know that Vessel is a giver, so we fill in that blank with whatever you want to in the bedroom. But it's the fact that it's like, no, he's like, I want to be your provider. I want to give you the love, like, to be very blunt, it's like, no, I want to give you the best orgasm you've ever had. I want you, because for a fact that it's not just the physical sensation. It is my heart. It is my love. It is like everything of that. So,
well, your final decider was another line that got me too.
Oh, how do you take that?
I think like so your guiding hand, your final decider. To me, I almost there's several ways, but like that is almost just like your end. You're all like, I'm only me and you. Like you're. Okay. I have a couple. What do you think though?
I'm gonna toe a very fine line here, but
oh God, what do you think?
I think that what he is saying, that let's just, for sake of argument, is that, again, whether it is sleep or if it's Eden, no matter what woman or like character he is speaking to, I'm going to say it's Eden for this example because I think that this fits.
Yeah.
Your guiding hand, your final decider. I think that guiding hand could be that idea of like, don't worry, I'll help you through life. But your final decider, that can be very toxic because it's the idea of that when you submit to someone, you're trusting them. It's a lot like when you hear about like BDSM or like these different things that people do in the bedroom where it's like, no, that shit takes a lot of trust. I don't think that's what's being said here, but that's like as an example. I think it's to be very blunt. It's like, no, it's like you come when I want you to. I'm your final decider. I'm going to provide you with everything you want, but you're going to listen to me and you're going to do everything I tell you because I promise that it's going to be the best thing you've ever had.
So you still, so you're still saying it is him saying that to her.
Yeah. It's that. I think that this is
he's kind of getting a little cocky.
I think that it's the idea of like, no, dude, I know what I'm doing. Like it's that type of thing.
But here's my thing is if that's the case, how is he falling victim every time?
Well, that's also because if the sensations and the lust that he's given into has been to sleep, not to Eden. He just got Eden, like, again, with how I'm viewing it, is that he just got Eden back because he's in Arcadia in the afterlife. So it's like,
oh, see, you're taking it. See, I'm taking the fact of Eden is the Eden being the narcissist, being the woman that he's after.
It's hard for me to have that perspective only because, again, it's not that it's wrong. It's that it's like how when people were like, dude, you're taking this stuff too literal. There's no entity. It's like, first off, you didn't read his first interview that he ever did, so you're full of shit. Secondly, it's the fact that it's like, I think I even said it when we did our deep dive into Eden, when I said, look, you can say that sleep is not a woman. You can say sleep is not an entity that's enticing or a narcissist. But then if that's the case, if you're going to say that that's not the thing, you have to explain the apparition. And you can't without saying that that's who the entity is sleep. So it's that's who he's focused on in that moment. Now, I would argue Taken Back to Eden and Euclid are kind of when his focus goes back to the right place. You know, of like.
So then,
you know,
how do you explain some of the other like very lustful towards an actual woman being?
To me, it's sugar is sleep. It's everything has been sleep, like, you know, through like even through like
So you don't think any of this is about an actual person?
No, I think that that the symbolism that he drew this from, who we know for a fact that it is, if you do your research, you know what I mean? So,
right.
but no, I think that in the story, as far as the lore of Sleep Token, I think that it's sleep. So it's not to say that Eden in real life isn't who Sleep really is, but I think it's the idea of the duality of the two, that in the story he's telling. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
So,
to me, this is mostly in the fact of like we're getting almost several different sides here.
And by the way, it very well could be.
Right, right. But it's just the fact of that one of them is an actual flesh being that he is speaking about and being distraught over, and that sleep and the gods are the things that, quote, balance him out and or give him guidance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because again, I think the gods now are death.
Mm-hmm.
I think sleep is a like maybe parallel, like almost even actual thing. Like when I finally get to rest is when I get to see you in my dreams, because I can make it perfect here.
Yeah.
When I'm awake, you only want me when the water's holy. You only want me in the nighttime. You don't want me in the daylight to show me off. You don't want me in this like. I can only have you at night, so I have you in the dark, and then when I go to bed.
See, I think that for the real life implication is that makes perfect sense for a relationship, because we've all been there. You know, where people that have been ashamed of us or like different things. But what I'm looking at is not so much what Vessel, the human being, is having happen. What I'm looking at is Vessel, the creature, and the I guess I can't figure out like the right way to say it, but it's almost like he's not an entity himself in the lore, but it's like he clearly is connected in different ways. And like he obviously in the music videos as we've seen is that, you know, he's been to multiple dimensions and he does have some abilities and different stuff. So like that's really what I use to guide me, is that I kind of throw away the real life stuff and I just look at what's really going on with just the story itself, with the fictional side, you know, because
okay.
So, but again, it's one of those where it's like, no, he dated a narcissist 100%. You know,
I think
that's
what I'm getting is that I think that this all is about an actual person.
Oh,
but
it is.
He's giving several sides. You're right, like a lore person and a like the sleep and like all this stuff, but like kind of. I don't mean like a fictional character. Yeah, you're right. But like that other, like the non-human quote vessel, if you will.
Yeah.
But I think it might be a little bit of everything, because it lends itself to be, that's where it gives it to where it can be anything for anybody, where if you want to take this as maybe how I'm doing it, where this is a straight up relationship journey that I have like almost 100% been on myself.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ, dude, were you standing right next to me? Were you standing right next to me the whole time? Did you write like, and I know that he's not right. He's not talking straight to me, guys. I get that. But it's like, but are you?
See, this is the thing, is that even with a friend of ours, that's where I'll keep it. But a friend of ours was over that has gone through very similar things to what we have. And I actually showed him the Fall For Me video. And because like he talked about dealing with, you know, different things. And he was like, yeah, he's like, I've listened to Sleep Token a little bit. He's like, they're pretty dope. And I said, I'm like, right. But I'm like, you know what they are, right? I'm like, they're music for people that have been in narcissistic relationships. And he stopped and he had that moment of, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And like, it's like he was piecing together like the 4 songs he had listened to,
right?
You know, so but
right.
But no, the thing is like, no, it's extremely relatable, man. Like, and that's what I think is great about this, is that I don't think that we'll ever know. I think that when Vessel has hung up the cape, for lack of a better term, but like when Sleep Token is done, cloak.
Stop saying why the fuck. He's not Superman.
No capes.
No capes. You mom and everybody. Is there a cape? It's not a cape.
But As far as like provider getting more and more into this is that I think that especially when we get to I want to delineate, though the last time we were around each other, I found myself hesitating, which that melody he does on that is so sick. But he says, but I know I would not now, my lover. He's like, I hesitated before, but now I would not.
See, this is where I'm saying, like, this is where it makes me think that he is in certain songs talking about an actual person now.
Well, no, he is, but again, it's the way that I take it is that it's like I'm looking at the lore. You know what I mean?
I get you.
So
but
it's in this avenue is again like if you can fill in the blank of whoever it is, but clearly like. Even we're going to see it in Damocles where it's like, no, we believe very much that's like Caramel where that really doesn't have anything to do with lore.
Right.
But it's like, but this one, I would say that like lore wise, and then also real life is that this is a hell of a thing to open yourself up to someone like this.
It is now because we were listening to this. So now let's think about something here. A couple things. But I know I would not now, my lover. And then he goes into crawled up on you. It's a spider.
Uh-huh.
He crawled up. But then I also have this envision of like, how he does this whole thing where he says, do I want to go there? Yes, I do. I want to do more than just bend the rules. But to me, that means break the rules out of a friendship zone. One of those where she's maybe laying on a couch or a bed. Maybe she's drunk because we all know what he says in Gethsemane, that he kind of is like crawling up, like up on the couch. Hey, babe, but what's over? Like it lends itself to give me that visual of what's happening right now. I can be completely wrong.
So you view it very much that Gethsemane and Provider are about the same woman.
Oh, for sure.
See, I look at them; they're two different people.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So it's again just how we both perceive it. Yeah. So.
Oh, this is all about the same bitch. Sorry, Vessel, if you call her that, but
yeah.
I look at because of the fact of the whole like our bodies converse like old friends.
Yeah. Fingers
foxtrotting on my skin. There is what else does he say here? And the fact of when he even talks about the only baddie in the room.
Yeah.
Hitting me up, hitting my phone so hard it's in the ICU, where it's almost like when he pulled away and maybe she pissed him off. Now she's texting him.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you at? What's wrong? What did I do? Like, I don't know. Like it could be any way like you could take that, but he almost kind of had the upper hand right there.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you go back to, and then our bodies converse like old friends, exchanging the years in silence, which means they've been apart.
Mm-hmm.
They're just hugging right now. There's no sex involved. Nobody needed to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
But when you follow up with something unsaid on both ends, meaning he's probably still not confessing everything he should be, and she's not telling him how she really feels either about we can only be this.
Mm-hmm.
But then then what does he say with I had it.
Very good.
Yeah. With something unsaid on both ends, surely we know the difference. And then I want to be your provider, with knowing the difference, where it's like, I kind of take that in the fact of he should know that this isn't going to work. Maybe even also the exchanging the years in silence. Maybe the dead silence isn't a good thing.
I think that again, it's the ways that you can perceive this song is very interesting. I mean, regardless, it's one of those where it's like, no, dude, it needs to be on your bedroom playlist, in general. But
because he wants to be the provider and he's not getting to be.
Well, the thing is, I would look at this as that the years of silence, and he's talking about being away. It's like, for me, that's Eden. It's like he killed her. She's been in Arcadia. He just got to her. So it's like the idea they've been set. Like, again, I'm not saying that is the correct thing. But
I know, but I like hearing your.
But it's that thing where it's like, regardless, like this is the step in Vessel's journey where, dude, like when you open yourself up to someone sexually, that is like some people
vulnerable,
dude. It's extremely vulnerable, and it's it's one of those that like I'm careful on how I say this. I know I've said that a lot, but it's like with this because I don't want to seem like it's like I'm passing judgment. But it's like there are people that like for lack of a better term, when you talk about somebody's like body count, right? Where it's like there are some people where it's like no, they have 3. Some people have 50. Like I met a friend of mine that said that he has slept with over 100 women. And it's, so it's one of those where it's like everybody has a very, very different journey, but it doesn't change the fact that in the same way that you get naked in front of them, they see every imperfection on your body. They see everything. Your emotionality is being opened up. And this is something that is so much deeper than what we have viewed, even with Sugar.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Like, through their whole discography of seeing this, where it's like, oh my God, he wants to do nothing but give her everything.
Correct.
And it's to me again, that's why I view Arcadia more of a positive experience. Now again, Gethsemane, we're gonna get there, but it's like with Provider, to me, it's one of those that coming out of even Arcadia, this is just the moment of like, I'm going to indulge in you. I'm going to enjoy what has been mine the whole time. It's like this is the thing I've been away from. But again, regardless, Vessel has made himself vulnerable. And I think that's very important because if Gethsemane is about the same woman, he's made himself vulnerable. And now it's the idea of like realizing what the horridness was and that it's come back. Or he's made himself vulnerable with his one, but he's got to work this last one out. He needs to talk about it. I think that it's like no matter how you view this, Gethsemane shows up at a very, very inopportune time.
Oh, well, when do you think it's ever going to show up at the right time, man?
Right.
Seriously. Yeah. Like when you really sit back and think about that, because like, okay, so we go from Provider to Damocles, right? And we were talking about this, guys, is that if...
I'm sorry, Damocles is next. I'm so sorry. It's not Gethsemane, sorry.
But he's actually kind of right. Because when you look at the playlist, we were talking about this before we got on here. Now I saw something, but seen, sent, whatever.
No, it's not Wang.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It was Caramel and Damocles that are not only, but the 2 majorly different visualizers off of the album, like release off of YouTube. Mm-hmm. Which because like Damocles is, I argue, like kind of lore, mm-hmm. but like not really. So there's like this.
It could fit.
It could fit. So the way it looks. So if you take out Caramel, which was, I think kind of both were like Caramel for sure was a stern dad talking to moment. So
that is
like,
a personal Vessel moment.
Yeah. You're like, sorry.
Yeah.
And if you take that out, and you take Damocles out, you do go straight into Gethsemane.
Sure.
And how fucking crazy is even with the playlist, again, that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit too, was with this playlist, if you go from Provider to Damocles, it's fucked. Mm-hmm. If you go from Provider to Gethsemane,
it's even more fucked.
It's even more fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if I take it the way I take my lore and my vesselism, mm-hmm. in a sense, I'm going from, I just want to do this. Like, why won't you let me? Like, I'm trying to then this, I wish he would just hit me back real quick. But then if you take the aspect out, it's the fact of, bitch, you don't even want to do anything. Like, I'm your secret lover.
Yeah.
And I'm doing all this over here for you, and all you want to do is hurt me, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So sorry, I wasn't trying to skip around, but like, if you take this journey in that way with how the music comes in and how the lore is going, in a sense, either way, it's fucked up. But the fact of that Damocles, like I was saying, is kind of sort of yes and no lore, mm-hmm. in my opinion, because I kind of wanted to hear your thoughts again on this.
Yeah.
But it was just that the flow of the album.
What I wanted to do is I wanted to try to find the proper quote from Damocles, but it's basically I'm gonna butcher it because Google wouldn't pick it up, pull it up quick. I thought I screen capped it, but I didn't. But in the ancient text, if you will, of Damocles, where is that it basically the Kyle inspired version, KIV, is that Damocles is sitting on the throne.
And there's a horsehair or something like that that's
holding a blade, and it's when he says I wish that I wasn't so fortunate. I would rather not be so fortunate because
all this
because this is what is above me every day. But it's it's like it's that symbolism of that. It's like, no, when you make it to the top, that's not a place that every person should be or wants to be. And I hate to use this analogy just because some people, aren't into the film, and some people don't take it seriously. But from a writing standpoint, I think it's brilliant, is what Black Panther's father told him when he had
never seen it.
Dude, good movie. Good one timer.
I've heard.
The ending fight sequence is dumb because they didn't have enough time to finish the CGI, so it looks like shit.
Oh, really?
But
anyways.
But no, what he tells him is that he's like, T'Challa, he's like, you have to understand, he's like, it's hard for a good man to be king.
Yeah.
Is that you have to make very bad decisions. And it's
right.
You are the person that everybody can watch Game of Thrones and see how people handle leadership.
Even good people have to do bad things.
So with Damocles, I will say this is that, like, I know that there were emotional moments of us reacting of like different things for different songs, but Damocles is special. Because, dude, even when Aunt Paula was visiting, we showed her some Sleep Token, and Damocles actually made her emotional. And it was
really?
It was during the bridge, which I don't want to jump there just yet because we'll get there. But this is the clear sign of, dude, like, regardless of it being in the afterlife of Arcadia, regardless if this is a different dimension and he's still alive, whether or not this is Vessel himself. This song does something that no other Sleep Token song does. And how ironic is it that he says, I know these chords are boring. And I know that, it's like, dude, no,
I said that today too. I was like, how do you say that, man? I can't always be killing the game. What do you mean, dude? I almost kind of look at this song as it's from an every perspective point of view. It is the man behind the mask. It is Vessel. It's the lore Vessel. It's everything, like, because again, not trying to skip around too much, but the fact of when he says about getting tired, nobody's told me I get tired of myself.
Dude, I fucking, that's the moment I cried.
Yeah,
for the reaction,
because
dude.
Guys, I said this earlier today, and I don't mean, because like we are to no caliber to Vessel and Sleep Token or anything, but dude, I get some of that. If he even means a little bit of this, sometimes I don't want to say welcome back, music junkie.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to say fucking cheers. Doesn't mean I don't want to react to stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sick of fucking saying it. So with this, it's like it's almost like it's like everything where he's just tired of being the king of fucking music right now, dicked around in his afterlife, thrown around by some woman that won't treat him right either, and then motherfuckers won't give his identity a rest.
Yeah, all he wanted to do was stay anonymous and make us amazing music, and we couldn't even give him that.
We couldn't even give him that, dude.
Yeah.
He's fucking tired of it, man. And what does he still do? Not to jump around, he still gives us more stuff because that's all this dude knows how to do. And I've said that before. But anyways, getting to not skip around, it's the fact that the whole Damocles, like whatever, not want to say complex, but like, could you imagine? It's like I said, I'm sick of doing stuff, and we've got barely 500,000 subscribers. Could you imagine being as big as Sleep Token is, as the actual people?
No, and it's, well, especially this line in the chorus, when it's how it starts, is that when he says, when the river runs dry and the curtain is called, how will I know if I can't see the bottom? That's how do you take that line?
So when the river runs dry, I took that as when when he's older and the music isn't here anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Yep.
when you can't see the bottom, I feel like when you can't see the bottom, the water's so deep though.
Yeah.
So like I'm very conflicted on that like verbiage.
What if let's just look at it this way, is that like, if I can use that as an example, because I don't know what Vessel's conversation with 2, 3, and 4, and we've talked about it a couple of times where like I'm sure that they had that sit down of like, guys, we're going to be big.
We're huge.
We're the biggest thing in music right now across the world.
We're the next Michael Jackson and Queen.
Right. But let me pitch it to you this way, is that Tony Hawk, stay with me. They asked him about his video games. And they said, man, like, so like Pro Skater, like, was that ever like taken seriously? Like, how much did that actually like help your career and everything?
I think I briefly saw some. Yeah.
And it's, guys, if you've not seen the clip, I would highly suggest that you watch it on your own, get the proper
I was like,
context.
holy shit.
But it was when I think he said it was either Pro Skater, like one of the earlier ones, was that he said that they basically said, look, this is going into greatest hits. And if you sign this contract, you will essentially put it at like $20, because it's what they used to do with old games or whatever, like for like PlayStation 3 or PS2 and stuff, is that like you could get very affordable games. I think I got Uncharted as a $20 game at some point.
Oh yeah.
But they basically said, they were like, look, like you essentially could quit skateboarding if you wanted to. Like, you are going to make so much money, like your tour of doing this and just doing everything that you're doing in your life right now, like you've given yourself no bottom. Like, it's like you essentially like, I'm embellishing and adding that, but like it is that mentality where it's like your life is endless now with your career. Like, there's no limit to where it can go.
That's actually a very okay. When it dries up, but he still has keep
making music. What are you stopping for? It's like, but I don't have anything left. It's like, there's no bottom. Keep going. You know, dude, it's a cool thought, because it's like, cool, I don't ever have to really work again, but it's like, fuck, I have to work for the rest of my life.
For my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then he does follow it up with come up for air and choke on it all. Now we've talked about coughing up blood and the brain matter, and then chokehold and drowning.
From missing limbs to the beginning of Whedon. Yeah.
So there is that, and then no one else knows that I've got a problem.
Yeah.
What if I can't get up and stand tall?
What if the diamond days are all gone?
Now, before it follows up with that is where I'm not trying to bring up old things, and sorry guys if for any reason you're watching this. So I'm honored. But I know that with their first tour, kind of, or like when they were not big at all, they were like really drunk on stage. And I heard a lot of it was like some stage fright, which was weird, because I thought that anyways,
that's not uncommon,
but that's just what I heard. But that you can even see something like, it looks like he kind of drops his water bottle at one point on one of the things. And it's not super obvious, but it was just him, I think, trying to get loose and doing all these things. What I'm getting at is that nobody else knows that I've got a problem. What if he has some kind of substance problem still, or the fact of that fame is maybe, because I think that I heard as a rule is like their thing is they don't drink on stage anymore, or like before, but like what if it does, maybe it's as soon as he gets off the stage, he cracks a bottle, or he's taking pills, or he's like, I don't know. And I'm not trying to put that out there if it's not real. It's just when you say, and I come up for air and choke on it all, and no one else knows that I've got a problem. That struck me as like he's keeping a secret.
I would say that I think that is plausible, and it's for no other reason of that. It's like, oh, because Vessel's the biggest thing, or like them. It's like, no, it's because I'm sorry, the music industry is fucked. Yeah, like, dude, it's Brian Head Welch has talked about that, where he's like, when 100,000 people are screaming your name, you feel like God. And and nothing can stop you. And it's like, that's where drugs and things can creep in. I personally wouldn't take it that way. I would take it more from how it stems from like Caramel, of the idea of that he's like, I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't. Is that this is him just like, it's kind of like that moment of like, dude, like, I just can't stop bumping on this. Like I just can't find peace with this, where it's like I have all this fame now. I have more money than I could ever fucking know what to do with. I have all these things, but I'm still dealing with the fact that I have been through what I have, that I've been used, that I have used, that because that I have like,
Right,
you know,
right.
I kind of take that almost as like an overarching kind of like, you can fill in that blank with whatever you want, because dude, wait, we're all fucked up every day. Something is bothering us where it's like, no, I mean, even when we look like we're fine, something is wrong.
That's why I said,
you know, so it's like that whole like, no, nobody knows I've got a problem, you know?
That's true.
You know? So
I mean, that's actually a very choke on it all. Like, I mean, man, I had so much stress in my life that guys, I'm not trying to be funny. I threw up every morning for 15 years, damn near.
It was
stress
like,
and
threw up blood and
just bile and stuff. But I ate like shit. I drank all the time. Like, you know, so like there is that, but like, you know, I don't know. I think that Damocles is definitely something that I think that a lot of times people kind of feel, in a sense, like you were saying, like even if you're not rich and famous or whatever, but it's got this like it kind of lends itself to be any type of like, I don't want to say inconvenience, but cycles for people as well. But like you said, for being the size and fame that they are, like that is the caliber of things like that you would have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, whether people don't quote know who you are or not.
Yeah.
You know, I almost think that they, even with things being out there, and it almost makes it harder to try to still stay out of the spotlight. Like, he can't just go to the store.
No.
Could you imagine? Maybe that's part of the thing about like, no one tell me I get tired of myself. I've made such a big deal about myself that I can't even go anywhere. I now had to hire somebody to go get my fucking McDonald's.
And they can't even know who I really am. You know, it's I live in the big house. Everybody rumors they think I'm a vampire or something.
Yeah,
it's like, something. It's because I don't go out.
Or you had to do such an extensive, thorough fucking check to be your, quote, secretary. That you had to sign 14 NDAs and all this stuff. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, guys. Like, that's what I sometimes think that it might actually be like for these guys.
This is the thing, is that I think that with, like, for instance, like with Slipknot, I think it was easier for members to, after they had their, you know, like their anonymous years and stuff, where it was kind of like, all right, no, like obviously like Corey's doing Stone Sour, so it's like people know he doesn't wear a mask in that, you know, it's like people know what he looks like, you know. Eventually they did Voluminal Inside the Nine, where all of them, including Craig, who never said anything in his 20-second interview, but all of them were unmasked. They, you know, finally just had conversations and talked. Sleep Token is just one of those things that, nah, man, like I hope we never get that.
Right.
Well, I mean, genuinely,
yeah.
You know, again, if there's a day that if the man behind the mask wants to be able to show himself and make that decision, I personally think he'll probably do it in a music video.
Or something. I think so too.
You know, or like something artistic or different things. But Damocles is just, it's that double down on everything of that. It's to me, I've said before that The Apparition is the perfect Sleep Token song because you get a little bit of everything musically. To me, Damocles is the perfect song that they've ever written. And the reason why is because because anybody can listen to it. You get intense metal drums in the end, 2 shows off. You get the wonderful holding out of Vessel's notes. You get you get wonderful piano. You get the Vesselettes. You get everything with it. Like, to me, Damocles is the song that it's like, as much as Past Self is a radio hit, you know, that everybody can love, it doesn't hold a candle to Damocles, dude. Like that song is just so special. It is so different. It is, you know, aggressively personal, and you know, it's like that's just my opinion, my thoughts. But no, it's you can tell I'm stalling for Gethsemane, but it's just, you know, no, dude, it's just Damocles is just one of those that, like, no matter how many times I listen to it, I don't get tired of it. You know, I've abused the shit out of that on my Spotify many, many times, and I'll be very curious to see what my rewind looks like this year to see which one is the top song. But all right, let's do this. Gethsemane. The thing that I think that for anyone that doesn't know is that the reason why the name Gethsemane was something that scared me.
Okay, let me ask you real quick before we get, is it Gethsemane or Gethsemane?
I think either one. Say it however you want to.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was saying, because I've heard people say Gethsemane, but without the like the sound.
I think it's like caramel caramel. You can like say it however you want to. So obviously for music purposes, caramel, like whatever. So no, not caramel. So
imagine.
But no, Gethsemane it's the Garden of Gethsemane. It's where Jesus prayed before he was crucified, and he prayed so hard and was so stressed that he was sweating blood.
It's also where Judas betrayed him, right? Where he was arrested.
Betrayed him with a kiss. Yeah.
So it's kind of fitting, because if we go with my personal standpoint and look at this, how crazy is it that we're talking about a garden?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That gardens are supposed to be pretty no matter what they are, even if it's for food or if it's for flowers or whatever. Like they're either in a tight row or very beautiful things, right? In my opinion, when you think about something like that.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's supposed to be pretty, and the fact of when you go from provider to this, Gethsemane starts with his very high-pitched, almost like innocent, kind of like angel-sounding voice.
This one has a very sundowning beginning.
Yeah,
it's got that kind of vibe. Yeah.
And what I said today was, it's because he's almost like he's so high pitched. It's because he's so vulnerable right now.
He's tight.
And it's almost like he's tired. No pun intended, but like he's tired, man. But I wanted you to know I've learned to live without it. And even though it's colder now, I no longer feel surrounded. It's colder here without you beside me, but I don't feel attacked, and almost like surrounded, but being alone. There's nothing worse than feeling alone when you're with somebody. Somebody said today, and please take this that overweight people, they are the biggest thing in the room, but they're the most ignored. Nobody looks twice at them for a date or a discussion or whatever.
It's such horseshit.
It almost kind of lends itself to that.
That society bullshit.
Yeah, where like that, even though I'm no longer feel surrounded, I kind of took it that way, where it's that it's colder now, you're not with me, but I don't feel so surrounded. But like surrounded doesn't also mean that there's just people around you.
I think that the thing to remember about this is that, well, actually, I wouldn't say it's like the thing, but you and I have talked enough behind the scenes of who in real life this song is about, especially when some different lyrics in Infinite Bass that make us go, oh shit, there's no denying, with different things. I've toyed with this being Sleep. I've toyed with this being the real person.
Yeah.
I don't see this being Eden, only because this is the thing of like, if we think about Provider, or we think about like coming from that, intense, sensual song that you have, there's something about after you've had the person that you've been waiting for, and you stop and you realize my life is different now. Everything is, the way I breathe is different. It's very hard for me to look at Gethsemane and think that, number one, that it's really in lore. Just because I think that I think that I haven't landed, but because I've toyed with this, because at first I'm like, no, this is Sleep. This is like a big fuck you to Sleep.
Yeah.
I think Gethsemane is Vessel just being so real about specifically what the problem was.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's to me, it's the feeling of not being enough, the like you were saying, the feeling of, being alone. And this is I think this is something that everybody can relate to, but the whole line of, and you never listen to me, and that's the thing I tell the others.
I was just about to talk about these lines now, because it's when I hear that.
Do you think he's being pompous, or do you think he's being legit?
This is the way I take it. Now it's going to come off as funny. But when he's talking in this perspective on a couple different lines in here, guys, I take this as whether he's talking to, you're talking to your mom, you're talking to your brother, you're talking to your friends, you're talking to whatever. And you just never listen to me. That's what I tell that, you scoundrel, it's just like, she just doesn't listen, That's what he's doing. It's not a big deal. It's, that's just what I tell the others. But deep down, what the fuck is happening right now.
I tried.
You were never going to be enough for this person. But you try and try. I tried to tell him, silly goose. It's one of those things.
But on the inside, it's dark and disgusting and hurts.
I'm going to go home by myself when nobody's, and I'm going to make sure one of those, you draw the blinds, nobody's home, right? Now I'm going to decompress and be upset because I can't let anybody know. I'm a guy.
Yeah.
I'm a guy. We're cool.
Yeah.
And that's why I said it's how he's singing too. It's this high pitched because it's this innocence in him. It's like this little kid almost. That because he's trying to justify, even, it's like, who are you trying to convince, us or yourself?
Yeah.
And then when you go into and you live, that's what the thing I tell you is, you were my harlequin bride, I was your undercover lover. Well, you were my I always say, like, Harley, like, you're my crazy bride, like that's what I needed, that chaos in my life. But I was your undercover lover. You were embarrassed to be seen with me in any type of way other than buddies or, nope, can't say that.
No,
but
I get it. Yeah.
Just it couldn't be anything but that. And it was like you almost didn't, you wouldn't make it clear enough. You were like always just vague enough to string me along because I gave you the things you wanted. I gave you attention. I gave you guidance. I gave you money, stability, love, companion, like all of these things.
Yeah.
And I'm your dirty secret, man.
See, this is I wanted to see, I hate to say it this way, but like see what Google said about the term Harlequin bride. It says that it's not a standard term, but it can refer to a bride in obviously a Harlequin romance novel, which is a story about a heroine who finds love and a happy ending after overcoming a significant conflict with the hero. So it's so specifically, so when he says that you were my Harlequin bride, there was that idea of that, no, we went through it and made up, we were supposed to be okay.
Okay, well then that makes it even.
Yeah.
Okay,
so, but
I took that in the sense of almost like he said things before that can lend itself to be.
She's out of her mind, 100%.
Well, no, like Harley Quinn, like from like that's, or like the Joker, like that's why I was almost like a like my crazy, whatever. But like in a kind of in a good way, but then but see, like this is where I said, like, I think this is about the actual person, and this is where like it comes into this when this goes back into kind of like that provider and things and stuff, that you never saw me naked. You wouldn't even touch me except if you were wasted. So there comes this point of, it's like, you always gotta be drunk to fuck me. Yeah. And like, it's almost like she doesn't even have there's no even like there's no shame in it on her end.
This is the moment that that he said that. Well, sorry, sang it.
I could, yeah.
The fact that he follows up that line with, but you were trying your best. And that's the thing I tell the others.
Because it's forced.
I think that this is the, let me pitch it to you this way, is that I do not in any way think that the person that he is talking about is justified in her actions.
Right.
By any means. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm going to speak very vaguely here.
Okay.
But a situation that I was in my adult life, with a serious relationship, that's where I will put it.
Yeah.
And if anything, this is credit to that person. Is because there was a time that essentially it was like kind of like the conversation of like, look, you need to go to therapy. And they did. There was progress for a little while. There was real things that were happening, that the conversations that happened behind closed doors, the close proximity you have with your significant other, you see the best and you see the worst of them. Of
course.
And I think that that's a genuine line, is that he was just like, but you were trying your best. It just wasn't enough.
Right.
It's like, you know, it would probably be that thing of like, maybe they had a moment where like through all the bullshit where it was just like, I love you. I love you too. I got you. We're going to get through this. I think that's displaying a moment in that relationship, because it's something that I relate to a lot, because it's not even just one-sided with that one specific person. You know, it's like when you're in a relationship with somebody, your imperfections are going to fucking show. Your everyday battle is going to show itself eventually. And sometimes you're victorious and sometimes you're not. But with that line, that one was an odd one to hit me the first time that I heard it, and I was just like, you were trying your best.
See,
that's what I tell the others.
Yeah, because
like,
I think that you are right, but I think when it follows up with the, I was your robot companion, you were my favorite color. If you keep that a cohesive line with everything, but you were trying your best, and that's what I tell all the others. That's because, that's what I'm saying, it's forced. You were trying your best. Well, why do you have to try?
Mm-hmm. It should just be able to be.
It should just be able to be.
Yeah.
So I was your robot companion because you know I'll do anything you say because I'm programmed to work that way.
Yeah.
But you were just my favorite color. You're my perfect shade of, purple, my perfect shade of green.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just green. It's lime green with a little bit of hunter in there. Like it's funny that he does wear green now, but it's just that like it's one of those things. It's not just blue. Well, no, it's aqua blue with a hint of this and a tad of teal, and that like there was a lot more. I think more to that line when you add everything together, because the robot companion thing really got me.
Yeah, well, and it's also hand in hand with the whole groovy part that's coming up, that I've always said that this is actually their Polyphia song. You know what I mean? Like, so because we kind of have that like it's that, crazy guitar. But no, this is the robot companion leading into this, is that I'm caught up on the person I tried to turn myself into for you. Someone who didn't mind the push-pull parlor games, someone who wasn't always crying on the journey back, someone who didn't feel the low blows either way. This is very much the part of the song that I know, like, what did I say in our reaction, where I'm like, I could get specific, but I would get fucking sued, So,
same.
But
same, dude. The crying on the journey back was the one that got me, because I almost feel like it's almost both ways. Crying on the journey back, like trying to come back to you because you're upset, and then also when you're getting kicked out again.
Well, honestly, the way that I took that, because I think that both of those are correct, by the way. I'm not saying that I'm discrediting them, but I looked at it as like, the going home together and you're not talking in the car ride. Someone's crying in the car. You know what I mean? Like it's that type of awkwardness and that type of struggle.
Well, but you're right, because with the follow up, it was you with the countdown kill switch. It was love blows or the low blows either way. Thought I was waiting for you when all along it was you with the countdown kill switch. Yeah. I think you have a point there too with like kind of like that car ride thing, but I think with the fact of it following up with the countdown kill switch and it was me with the blindfold on, I think that is almost like a very much a specific, like legit walk, like kind of journey, like back and forth breakup, this and that, where it's like, you love me, you don't. You love me, you don't. You're like, it's one of those where I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm happy, I'm sad. I'm happy today because you're not being a bitch to me.
Yeah. I can build my bookshelf in peace without you ripping my soul apart.
Yes, but tomorrow I'm gonna be a depressed mess because you had a bad day or something I did set you off, and all I'm trying to do is be your provider. Again, I know that you and I are very, very different on a lot of these songs, which is weird that we come together on a lot of some of these songs as well. But, and it's not that one had it worse than the other, but I think it really shows the differences on relationships that we have been in and life in general that we have done, because I've said it 100 times though, guys, like I'm very jaded and I'm very broken, and I know
very good reason to be, by the way.
I know, but that doesn't necessarily mean, but like, it's that I know where I was broken and I started to get things chiseled away. It's just the fact of where I'm at now still, and it's really baffling. It's baffling, and sometimes it's also reassuring. But I think that I have done too much of this in my life. And not that I'm not perfect either. But what I'm saying is that I feel like I've gotten the brunt end on a lot of this in relationships.
Yeah.
I've given it. Of course, you poke the bear, man. It's going to happen.
I think that it's for anyone to go through life and live more than 5 years in general. I'm sorry, you've been toxic at some point. That is just you are a human being. It is what it is. You have made bad decisions. You felt good about those bad decisions in that moment, and you have regretted those bad decisions in the future. You know what I mean? Like it's again, we're people. We're human. We make horrible decisions, but sometimes horrible decisions are made towards us.
Yeah, and we're going to get into the try and hold it together a little bit here, guys. Sorry. So the reason why this hurts is because I know that I have done so much over time where, again, I've been very toxic in my days. And I'm not saying that I was always poked first, but I feel like a lot of times it was when I was poked first. But at the same time, you still give everything and you try. Anyways, my brain, hold on. I need to slow down.
No, you're good. Take your time, man.
It's just when he started this whole end here with
was it the came in like a dream?
Yeah.
During this whole,
Put it down like a smoke. We used to be a team. Now we let each other go. Like, and this is before we even start getting into any more of the like hard stuff of this verse. And it's like, dude, I have sat and reflected so many times of like, man, my kids got, I know it's not naming names, but like my kids come from a broken home and we used to be so good together. Man, why couldn't we just do this? I would do anything for you.
Yeah.
But you won't let me, or the way I do it isn't right. Like, what do you mean it's not right? How do I love you wrong? And now, thanks a lot. Now I don't want to fucking love anybody anymore.
This is...
And talking about, used to be my favorite color. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to learn somebody's new favorite color anymore. I don't give a fuck when your birthday is. I don't care when your grandma went on this vacation. I don't care anymore. You all have sucked that shit out of me. And it's because of this, because we were a team.
See, that to me is the thing that I think is the. I mean, there's shitloads of betrayal that can happen, or that how things change, but it's when you know for a fact that you've handled some of the hardest things with that person, and that there was no bullshit, and it was like, no, I got you, I'm with you. You know, like, because I'm sorry, not everybody is Bunny and Jelly, where like when Bunny was like, no, like no matter what happens with us, I'm helping you get your kid. You know what I mean? Where it's like some people are just like angels on earth, and that is what it is. But it's like to know that it's like it is really like that NF moment where it's like, girl, what happened? Like what was it? What was the problem? What did I do? Like what was the like? And when you're in a relationship with someone that makes loving them so hard, it is one of the things that I think is that I know for myself that I have felt so much shame that I even allowed myself to be in those situations.
Of course, dude.
You know, and it's that thing of like, dude, it's like what, like I don't mean you any harm. I don't mean you any of like, it's like I want to do the right thing. And it's
what's that, the Andy mentality from The Office? Sorry that I annoyed you with my friendship.
Yeah, right.
Like,
you know, but this is. Dude, it's
because what then it goes even deeper because man, I really wish I had weed right now. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't have my pen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's mine's in the car. So yeah,
no one's gonna save me from my memories.
Mm-hmm.
I take that sometimes as I can't even go back to being strangers with you. I have too many memories. I have memories of a stranger.
Yeah. You made me think I knew you and I never did.
But I would have given anything to get closer to you and all your enemies.
I've got a few of my own.
And that's the thing is I've got a few of my own, but I would have just tell me.
Mm-hmm.
They're my enemies too then.
Mm-hmm.
Becky, fuck Becky.
Yeah, fuck all of them.
Fuck Becky, fuck her mom too. You know, like all of that. Like it doesn't matter. Like that's the thing is that I was trying to be in your corner and you're fighting me like I'm the opposite fighter. Mm. I'm your coach. I'm your ref. I'm everything. And you turned around and started swinging on me. Mm. No, dude. It's like I was the one trying to help you. And for him to keep going on with the fact of, and I still see you when the lights get low and still hear you when I'm on my own. Of course, that's why I don't like to be fucking alone, dude. Not alone, but I don't like to stop. I can't stop. When I stop, that's why I hate nighttime. And not to even just because it's sleep. Like I hate going to bed. I hate laying down because it's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the quiet.
That's why we all have the fan that says, I'm tired, boss.
I'm tired, boss.
What do you think? We need fucking noise, dude.
I can't do it. I'm sorry broken. I'm sniffling on the fucking camera or on the microphone, guys, but then it's just for when he goes into this one's for you and your problems.
Dude, I felt this one. I'm going to let you catch your breath for a second. There's something about, and it's not even just like the relationship that you can be in, but I mean, this is 100% it, but it's like, you just meet people that like, they're always just fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like no matter what, nothing's their fault. Everything, you know, it's that thing where it's like, dude, fuck you, dude. You're a manager at a Kohl's fucking warehouse. Dude, like you make so much money a year doing, like, do you understand how much you legit have nothing to worry about?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, what, your mom said something that pissed you off? Get fucked. You know, like, it's like that type of thing. Like, it's this thing where like, I know one of the things that one of the things that got brought up in a fight that I've been in before was when it was just like, I think something was said to the effect of that, you know, you better stop. And I was like, why? Because you're going to get mad. What else is fucking new?
Yeah.
You're mad every day. If it's not at me, it's at your mom. If it's not your mom, it's at your friend. If it's not your friend, it's at your sister. If it's not your sister, it's at a coworker. If it's not them, it's my mom. If it's not them, it's my brother. It's
and then it just cycles.
I'm like, you would shock me. You would genuinely shock me if you could have peace for 24 hours because you fucking can't. You legit fucking can't.
Exactly, man.
And this is the thing where it's like how indulged in yourself do you have to be? And this is not even me saying that you can't vent to your partner. Like, dude, that's one of the things that Crystal and I have said many times where it's like, look, I know I've been venting since I got home, and both of us have had that moment of like, no, you need to get that out. Like, this is your safe space to be able to do so. But there's a difference between venting and the fact that it's like, dude,
you're always the martyr.
Like it's like everything is just how can you be the victim in everything? How is it fucking possible? Like, you know, when he says like your bad karma, what are you afraid of? And it's like the same trauma, but it's like, no, we both have been abused. We both have parents that are addicts. We like, you know, fill in the blank. And the fact of him saying that he's like, because you talk about your constant pain, like I ain't got none. I'm like, dude, fuck you. Like, it's like today was awful, and you didn't let me get anything out. And if it was, you laughed it off. Like, it's that tough thing of that. It's like, no, like sometimes I need to be irrational. And I have people that will tell me when I'm being irrational about like, you know, having moments of venting or like different things. But there is something about being with someone that is nothing but miserable. And that is the thing that it's like, dude, like I've seen the change in myself of like with, you know, it's like different avenues that my life has taken where it's like, dude, like when I lived with one set of parents for a while as an adult and realized how fucking uptight I was. And when I finally moved in with my buddy Jordan, I realized how much stress I was under, or actually rather how much stress I was no longer under.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that like when you and I have talked about like our past relationships and different things where it's like, dude, I was such an angry person. It's like, yeah, I get it because you were stressed the fuck out. But it's like you had no fucking relief. Like the only relief I ever had when I came home was when I knew that I was going to get to my third 8%er because I knew I would pass the fuck out. Dude, like
isn't that funny how it works that way? Because I know that's what happened to me. Mm-hmm. Things like this song happened to me. Mm-hmm. And it's
real.
I just watched myself go deeper and deeper, and that's when I got out of overweight and bloated and all, because all I did was drink and eat like shit because I was drunk and just ugly eating at fucking 1:30 in the morning. And but it was the fact of either A, I didn't have to deal with whatever it was, or B, they were asleep.
Yeah, nighttime was my
I could listen to my music finally with a drunk buzz and eat in peace, or whatever it was.
Yeah,
because like you said, the talking like you're paying like I ain't got none. Like, dude, I never. When you don't get to, guys don't get to talk about their pain anyways. Mm-hmm. But when it's like when you just don't even get a chance to even try or maybe eat, like I know that sounds weird, guys, like a contradiction right there, but it's like we know the difference of people that are almost like that. All eyes on me, woe is me, attention whore type thing, where male or female, where it's like you said,
it knows no gender,
where it is like they're always the victim. Where it's like I can be a victim too, motherfucker.
Yeah, I've been a victim all week, but I haven't been able to say anything.
Haven't been able to say shit because I had to take care of you because I'm your robot companion. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go buy your favorite color fucking flowers because I know that it's red. Or whatever it is, and you know, blah blah blah, right? But it's just the fact that he still even just goes into, and I've learned to live beside it, and even though it's over now, I will always be reminded.
Yeah.
Again, I think that's where it's the fact of we used to be strangers. At one point in time in my life, I never knew you.
I might as well never have.
But now I will always be reminded. So you know what? It doesn't matter. Put it in songs, man. Immortalize it. It's already immortalized to you. You're never going to get the fuck away from it.
Yeah.
Might as well write it down. Make a few million. I don't mean to be, but like seriously, like write it down.
This is the thing is that with where we leave off from Gethsemane, and this is the thing too, is that it's like,
it does. It kind of just ends lyrically. Like it
does. Yeah. Like it's almost like the notes. It's not that they don't resolve. It's kind of just like You could almost loop this song and it would work fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like musically, it would feel like it would fit together.
But then it goes into Infinite Baths. Now, guys, and this is a really good song. Was amazing live.
I cannot imagine. Yeah,
This is not one of my go-tos off the album.
I am a go-to with this for the beginning of the song.
Really?
And it's because this is how this is how I like to think about Vessel.
Okay.
I very much look at like I want to make sure I start this off properly because there was a bunch of thoughts I have about this song, and I think any Sleep Token fan that's been into the lore will feel overwhelmed with this song, with what we're getting. Is that in the visualizer for Damocles is that we see that there is all the different, I call them, I think that's the infinite baths. I think that's what we're seeing in Damocles is the flow of water. Now, that is just, again, symbolism, Arcadia being there where it's like, no, like you come over here. This is where you bathe. This is where you wash everything off. I originally thought maybe it was the play on the fact that Vessel wears the black makeup. So he's bathing it off every night. Like maybe it was like what it's doing to his skin or like what it's like. Now, luckily we didn't go that route because maybe that's just a good part of his life and that's not a problem. But
yeah,
Infinite Baths is salvation, dude. This in the beginning of this is how I view this, is that no matter how you view the entirety of the beginning of the or the whole album before this, we have this interesting beginning of that when you plucked me from the grotto, silent like a supermodel when I would wake in staccato, no lightning in a bottle, just one eye on the target and 2 bricks on the throttle, I know now. I think the way that I said this in the reaction was that I think that what Vessel is talking about is who he really is and what he was doing musically at that time.
Yeah, I think so too.
That this is the origin of Vessel, is that it's the idea of that
2 bricks on the throttle, foot on the gas, dude. Let's just go.
We're making music. We're doing this. We're making this happen.
Hey guys, you want to start a band?
Yeah, right.
We might be able to do something here.
We can take worship, but like not worship.
Yeah.
No,
check this. I'm gonna wear all black body paint and this fucked up mask, right? Bitches are gonna love it. 2, we're gonna call you 2. You're gonna wear this other mask. Yeah, all you're gonna do is just go off on the drums. 3, just stand there and look sexy. Like it's just like yeah.
This is that's really good. No, this is interesting. Is that obviously there is a grotto that they play at live, or their stage setup where it's kind of like, hey, look at my grotto, everybody.
Yeah.
But is that he says he was plucked from the grotto.
Right.
Now, does this imply that almost that this is a timeless thing, almost like, I don't want to cause more tears, but like the Hodor thing, where it's like the multidimensional thing that everything is kind of connected in this weird thing of that it's like you plucked me from the grotto of even in Arcadia or being in Arcadia, but it was in the beginning. So this almost kind of lends it to like almost like that again, I could be wrong, but it's like maybe that kind of almost symbolizes the idea of like the beginning of certain cycles or the beginning of how Vessel was starting. But also it could just maybe the grotto he's talking about wasn't in Arcadia. Maybe he had a grotto elsewhere, but he found his new grotto. You know what I mean? So like, who knows? But
I mean, without getting with what you just said there, decode this a little bit, but maybe you could be right. Like you said, from one garden
to another.
Yeah. So, okay.
Then we have, because let's finish up our phrase. So he says, in 2 bricks on the throttle, I know now that even if I am frozen, timeless as a ghost in my nightmares of the ocean, this is a callback to fucking Tomb. Dude, it is incredible. In my nightmares of the ocean. Dude.
So, yeah, this is where again, this song kind of confuses me in the sense of knowing, other than like an endless cycle in a sense of how it works. But it's a lot of the beginning where I'm like, how is this? Because you're right. Like it almost seems like it was a positive thing. But like you said, when we started to get into more of this nightmares of the ocean, I'm like, well, fuck, now we're back.
Well, no, it's no. I don't view it like that. I think that let's actually look at this as a full thought. So let's say is that imagine if I'm just speaking this to you, is that he says that even if I'm frozen, timeless as a ghost in my nightmares of the ocean, the precipice I'm approaching, well, you will empty the darkness and you will keep me in motion. I know now.
Yeah.
So I think it's the fact of that he's remembering back to everything where he's like, this is where it's like, no, but I know now that what you are, and again, this is why I view Arcadia as a positive thing. At least the idea of Arcadia is positive.
I think Arcadia is supposed to be the idea of positivity.
Arcadia very, very much is that it's this him saying that, it's that he's gone from the bad and now that he's here is that he's like, I know now. He's like, you're the one that's keeping me in motion. It's Eden. Is that it's like he's finally because when you have a title of an album called Take Me Back to Eden, an entire epic song is about it of like, take me back. I want her back. He's got her. He's
right,
here.
But then that's why the cycle starts over.
Well, we're going to get to that. So it's because I think I know this actually is where I say that this is where this is a realistic story. And it's not an answer that anyone is going to like. So we approach this infinite bass, washing over me at last. Are you the method in my madness? Are you the glory in my wrath? Infinite bass, bursting colors when you laugh. Well, I have fought so long to be here. I am never going back.
The problem I have with some of this is that are you the method to my madness? Are you the glory to my wrath? Those are questions, not statements.
True. Yes. I think it's because he's still unsure. It's right. It's that he's worried. But
okay. Sorry, I thought you were. That's why I was like,
no.
I feel
it's a realistic view.
Yeah, like he is definitely still like. It's almost kind of that like it's almost like rain, where it's like rain down on me. Where like you're kind of like taking all of this away because things are good right now. So infinite baths washing over me at last, and then the fact of where he says later where and these waters are warm, where like it's inviting.
Dude,
it's a bath is supposed to be. It's not a hot tub.
No, but this is very much like how I see that. It's imagine almost like the first time that you experience heaven.
Right.
And you have your earthly tendencies of like, well, what if this? It's like, no, be covered in this. Let it take you. And this is where, dude, this is the part that gets me. Is he says, this is why I think that this is positive and why this is Eden, is that he says, and where the waters are warm, where they used to run freezing, where there used to be storms, my horizon is fleeting. Nothing is uncomfortable anymore. He's not surrounded by the negativity. He finally is here. It's especially like when he even says it in the previous verse too, when he says, even if I'm on my own, and as we talked about silence, he's like, when the silence is deafening, I could be stuck here alone when even my future is threatening. Something is lifting the bones, something is dancing in revelry, wider than the oceans below, taller than titans on box springs. These are very, very big, good emotional things that he's talking about of where he is at in Infinite Baths.
Correct.
It's the fact that it's, again, he's finally here, and I remember saying it in the reaction where I was like, buddy, don't go back. Yeah. Don't do it. Don't, like, it's like you're like you have everything. Like, this is spoiler for Last of Us Part 2, but it's like Dina looking at Ellie and being like, we have a family. She doesn't get to be more important than that. Yeah. Like your issues and your past and everything and your struggles do not get to be more important than the good that we have right now. And I think that for a moment in this song, he understands that.
You said for a moment, because what's wild is that you are right. I think that this song is mostly positive. Keyword is mostly, because I argue that how we end is a very different perspective.
Sleep.
I still can't tell if it's sleep or if it's vessel. I still think it's vessel because we're getting another cycle, because we go through all of this at the beginning of how Infinite Baths is, even how it sounds.
Mm-hmm. This one has a very big tonal shift. I would say it's a sharper tonal shift than even Take Back to Eden or Look to Windward.
Even like the summoning too.
Yeah,
like
we get a full on goblin scream in this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
So that's actually going to come into play. So again, like kind of how Gethsemane was, where it's that very almost like innocent kind of sound. This has a very still like the most of the song has that kind of like innocence to it, where he's being kind of vulnerable and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would also even like the fact that it ties into the melody of The Night Does Not Belong to God and how it like reprises that too. So like, yeah, so it's interesting. Yeah.
So
they'd kill us if we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
So.
But the fact that when we do kind of bursting colors when you laugh. So the fact that he even said it in the one where it's like favorite color and stuff, like he talks about color again. But anyways, again, but I know I'm falling into Infinite Baths. Drift with me.
Yeah. I've been running since I got here.
But then it shifts hard. This is hard.
Scary.
And this is where it makes me think of that his music, sounds, tones, how he sings, cadence and everything is literally like you have said before, music is what emotion sounds like.
Yeah.
Because 1 minute you're fucking on the kitchen table, fucking getting everybody's favorite dinner, watching a movie, and then you are fucking fighting in it deep, in the thick. Like when did we get here?
Mm-hmm.
How did you go from wearing my favorite outfit with no panties on to now we are screaming? I'm not trying to screaming and fighting.
Yeah. Yeah.
All this glory you did not earn every lesson, or did not earn every lesson you did not learn. Now, I know there's more, but bro, he just started with, I almost feel like that's him screaming at himself in a mirror.
Mm-hmm. You think this is very much to himself?
I think so. Because you will drown in this endless sea. If it's blood that you want from me, you can empty my arteries.
Yeah.
We're now talking again, guys. I don't mean to bring this up because I don't, but like, I think Vessel was a self-harmer. That's why when he talks about sharpening the blades with gods, I now think gods are death and all that. Talking about the floods, blood, all of this stuff, he brings it right back up at the end, just in different terms.
It's to make sure you didn't forget anything about where you've been.
But correct. Mm-hmm. And then it's just, will you halt this? That's why I think that's what it made me think of when I couldn't figure out why I kept saying, will you halt this eclipse in me? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
I think that
because then it follows with the screaming, and then the goblin thing is, hear me out. It's almost like him choking.
It very well could be. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's this like,
yeah.
Like, I don't know how to explore. It's like, it's either he's trying to maybe even finish more words and he can't. Or he's choking on drowning, or he can't breathe it. Like, I don't know.
Okay. So when we've talked about songs and perspectives, is that we've said before that it feels almost like, for instance, like gods, I think is debatable that like, well, if sleep is talking to the gods, that is like she says that my fucking form is nothing but a wreck beneath me. It's like, that could be sleep or that could be Vessel. It could be one of the two. This is interesting. Let's say for a second that this is Vessel. If I were to look, for me personally, if I were to look at Vessel saying, starting off this section, all this glory you did not earn, is that I personally think that if he's saying it to sleep, it makes it more interesting.
Okay.
Because it's it's almost kind of the reverse where it's like, no, you're going to drown in an endless sea. You know, it's almost like I'm going to do to you everything you did to me. You know, but realistically, I think this is sleep. You made it to Arcadia, Vessel. You ain't learned nothing. You haven't learned anything. You gave in. You've done all of these things. It's like the lessons you didn't learn anything. So guess what? You're going back in the ocean.
That's almost it's almost like the same thing though. Still,
it's like if it's blood that you want from me, you can empty my arteries. It's like, I'm a god. I can't die. So let me ask you. How about once you halt the eclipse that's in me? will you halt this eclipse in me? And when we get to this final phrase, when I personally think that this is Vessel speaking, I think that because he makes it very clear of that I will be what I am, is that he's saying in me, kind of almost like you're asking this, like, no, it's like teeth of God, blood of man, I will be what I am. It's like it's if this is really where I'm at, and if this is what it's like, if this is just how the cycle is going to be, if this is what it's going to be, I'll do it all over again before I give in to you in Arcadia.
But in me, but see, what if you almost see, now that I'm almost thinking, it made me think of something. In me, teeth of God, blood of man, which means you can die then.
Mm-hmm. Which I think that he's referring to himself.
Well,
in that aspect.
What I'm saying, teeth of God. If we go back to the old God complex of like them being like, not complex, but like the God aspect, that's the word, of them being like death. Mm-hmm. Teeth of God, meaning if he's trying to off himself and if he like doing these things or having these thoughts, teeth of God, blood of man, I will be what I am, where it's the fact of not that he thinks he's invincible, but he's got that kind of almost mentality, but he's got blood of man, which means he is human. I will be what I am, which means he kind of has this like earthly mentality of giving in, like letting himself win and maybe taking the final sleep and all this stuff. So like, again, that just came to me. Yeah. So that's not
the big sad. Yeah.
The big sad. Yeah. So like, that's not, but like, no, I always thought that part too, but now that we were talking about it, it kind of made me think, well, if him saying that, where you're like, he's asking like in me, but then teeth of God, blood of man, like it's two different entities, if you will. You got a God and you have a man.
Well, it's I just view the gods that they're just the gods. It's right. That sleep is a species of them. It's like, again, that the fact when he says you're one among many, but you're now on your own. It's like, well, I wouldn't say that sleep is death. But in the same hand is that there is still paranormal things that are happening out of the, like it's like kind of like the whole this present darkness. There's a world that we cannot see that is happening around us, regardless of whatever perspective. If they're like, well, it's like, I believe in God. Yeah, well, I believe in Buddha. It's like, regardless, you believe in something higher,
something, right?
That type of thing, But I don't know, this it's a hell of a way to end this, because I know that's one of the things. Over. No, this is far from over. This is where. More. Well, this is also the thing too, is that the one thing that we've not talked about is the house flags. And it was like that the cycle cycle must end or the house must endure. And it's interesting that the house flags are the ones that are burning, the House of Viridian. And I still to this day don't know what that means.
Somebody tried to tell us
how it fits in,
I briefly read, they said that they read where they told the like people that were making the visualizer something like very specific, like this is what it represents, like these songs or like this thing. So that's why they met. So I forget what it was, but somebody did put it in one of our comments.
Okay. Yeah. Which, I mean, even guys with this one, since we're doing like, at the ending of it, or like with this, is that if anyone wants to give us like the proper explanation of the flags and stuff, please do it on this video. Cause I want to this is not the last time we're going to talk about even in Arcadia with like doing the comment stuff. So
yeah, no. Again, if you guys have made it this far, like I meant to do it earlier, but hey, test you guys out. And it's not to say, oh, I won, Eric, or I won, Kyle. Tell us in the comments, who do you think, in your opinion, got this album quote correct, or how their point of view,
or why we're both completely wrong.
We're both completely wrong. That's the great thing, is that we have gotten so many. I think there was one asshole, but that I have seen, but like all of this it's so cool to see people being like, nah, I'm with Kyle, or nah, I'm with Eric, or nothing is ever, you guys are fucking idiots. It's like, even if there is, no, it's this. I think it's because they go, because of this. Maybe you guys should look at this, or this is why. It's all good stuff. And I think that's really cool that the people that disagree with maybe the both of us still have a very firm plot point of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And being like, nah, you might be right, but this is what I think. And it's like, this is cool. I would have never looked at it that way, or maybe I should think. So that's what's great. So that's why I said, guys, if you've made it this far and you're still listening, thank you.
Yes.
But no, put in the comments that if you think Kyle or I am more on the right track with how you guys feel on the perspectives of this album or Sleep or Gods or Vessel or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Because I think this has been really cool because I actually thought Kyle and I were a lot more similar on our symbolism of this album than we really were.
What's interesting is that like going through the
I thought things hit you the same as it did me on a lot of stuff, and it kind of didn't.
Well, no, it's again our perspective. I think the best way to say is our worldview of Arcadia is very different. So it's the idea of like, well, do you believe in creation or evolution? It's like you're going to view science very differently,
right?
You know, but what's interesting is that this is the first album that we've been divided on
a little bit. Yeah,
you know, it's like we've had like maybe some differing thoughts on like, you know, maybe like some specific songs off of Eden or like different stuff.
Right.
But like regardless
of the album,
there's been a through line story that we have followed that it's like, okay, no, this is what's leading here.
And this is what shifted.
Arcadia is where things get interesting. And this is where I think that especially seeing what happens with their next album, which realistically will probably be in the next 2 to 20 years. But but no, this is Arcadia. There is so much to chew on. There is so much to love. There's so much to be therapy. There's so much like there's so much to pick from this where it's kind of like, nah, man, pick your fruit and dig in. And you can have just like one fruit for an entire week and you're going to feel so satisfied with everything you get. Like you could listen to just Damocles all week and then and be fulfilled. You know what I mean?
I've done stuff like that with, and it's so weird because it is a lot of the newer stuff from the channel from Riker Road, but between Sleep Token, 21 Pilots, NF, Falling in Reverse, and how even not in a sad way, but even like Sorrow to Prevail, I have these moments where I replay a lot of songs, guys, a lot, or you know, the same 14 songs in a cycle for 3 months until I add 3 new ones and blah, blah, blah. But Sleep Token is one of those where I will listen to a Damocles type thing or even though I don't like it, I'll listen to Gethsemane 14 times in a day.
Because like we can't deny the fact that Gethsemane is a fucking banger.
It is
so good. Yeah,
it's just the fact that you're right. Like there's binge people, and then there's binge people that you have binge songs with.
Yeah,
because like I'll listen to Forgot About Dre a billion times. I don't listen to Forgot About Dre all day. I'll listen to Emergence all day. I'll listen to The Apparition from the time I wake up and cry until I have to go on live for 5 minutes before I looking puffy. I tell people I just took too big of a bong rip.
Yeah.
Like, but no, like that's what's so wild, that we have been through such a crazy journey on the show's standpoint of view, but also in our own personal point of view of songs, music, and art. We would have never, I argue we would have known who Sleep Token is without the channel. We wouldn't know who Sleep Token is, though.
Absolutely not.
We would have never given them a chance. I'm sorry, guys. I can speak from me. I would have heard certain things and been like, yeah, tight.
Yeah.
And that would have been it.
Yeah.
That would have been it. Being forced to sit down, in a sense, to listen and have nothing other than my attention on this one thing. Look at where we're at, dude. This man single-handedly makes a 42-year-old man ugly cry. The songs weren't even on. All I did was read horribly in no form of singing tune and cried. It's because I know what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And I know what it feels like. This has been some of the most awful, healing, incredible, fun, disturbing things I've ever gone through, and it's music.
Yeah.
That says something, man. So the fact they never will, but dudes, we really do appreciate what you've done for us. And I've always stated, if I ever were blessed to high five, even say a few words, I would just literally just probably cryingly say thank you and keep it walking.
I would have to hug him. You know,
I would have to. Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
So he'd probably be like, "No, you can't do that, man." That's only because they're from the UK.
Yeah,
so,
but anyways,
yeah.
Guys, this was sorry for sniffling in the last half of this because that Gethsemane did get me, but this was a lot of fun. This was, I think, some therapy as well. Very, like I said, very interesting to see our different takes on this because we have been very, like I said, very much on the same page, but we got a little divided on this album, and I'm excited to see what people are going to say in the comments on who they agree with or what they don't agree with, and give us a new point of view, or maybe we can have our own new journey and be like, you know what? Tim was right. Let me go back to hear Sugar, and maybe I'll pick something up or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
That's what's great about this.
Well, let me pitch one more thing to you. And this just came to my mind. So again, this could be something that we may not do.
Sure.
But the person that emailed us the Teeth of God graphic novel.
And I saw the pin. Thank you.
And they said, no, I specifically bought a version for you guys, like a digital version, so you guys can read it.
Fucking wild.
So you've read it?
No.
Okay,
no.
So I have not yet. We actually did, and thank you for whoever it was. I can't remember when the last video we did on part 1. Their comments said spoilers for Teeth of God, just so you're aware. So it's like, so they have their own thoughts. I think that we should read the graphic novel
and go through it
and talk about it.
Okay.
If that is something you guys would like us to see, I don't know how big of an episode it would be. I don't want to make it members only. So I mean, if it was like
right, like everybody's
but it's one of those like, no, like I would love to see. All right, so now we have the perspective of the music. Let's see what Vessels, made for us in this aspect of like, what's something that we can turn pages. Like, dude, because I've been diving into this graphic novel thing. I'm loving it. And to know that there's an element that exists in this lore that we can see in ink in front of us, or at least like on digital, whatever.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
I'll eventually own it. Like I'll buy
I'm trying. I know it's kind of hard to get, but guys, I know that I don't know how many people see this, but if you guys ever find out where we can get our hands on a hard copy, I know that they're kind of expensive. But
I think Sumerian Records, you have to buy through them.
But like, I don't care. Like, I would like to have a copy because it's something that I think that whether we get one or we each get one, like it needs to be in somebody's studio because I think Sleep Token is so much a part of us now as far as take shows out of the equation. It is a part of us, man, because it spoke to us so much through lyrics and sounds and stories and journeys. I've said before, like Sleep Token, like he like reaches straight out through and just like touches you right there in the soul and then goes, and pulls back and then goes,
you feel it, don't you?
Now wait. And then you just wait because Vessel said so.
Yeah.
Like it is one of those. Now it also is just the fact of, like I said, just great music as well. Like great music is great music, but I think that Sleep Token is a big part of who we are now among many other artists that we have. But this is definitely a big one, and I'm so glad we got to do this, man. Dude. This has been a lot of fun. Some tears.
Dude, some
laughs.
I think it's also because we went for there was a time period there where we were busting out some Sleep Token podcasts like every week, where it's like, no, we went through the EPs, we did Sundowning.
Yeah. We needed a break.
Well, it was also because like we had so much time to spend with that music. So guys, for making it this far, and for anyone that's still watching, whether you're listening on RSS, which would be Spotify, Apple, we love you guys too. Thank you for listening.
All the hearies,
the viewies and the hearies. That's what we had.
The hearies, the C's.
So we'll make t-shirts one day. But no, it's just, guys, like this has been really wild for us to dive in so deeply into these lyrics because, as I've heard people say it before about video game characters and other things where it's like, guys, like, the fan base of Sleep Token has just held them so close to their hearts, and it's, something that, like, again, we did not deserve this man. We do not deserve this man. And we are able to see true vulnerability in someone who is ironically so Christ-like. And it's, it's something that, like, it feels like it's such a contradiction, but dude, I'm floored that we've been able to get this far and to do this, but I know that Eric and I have other plans that we want to do for podcasts. We're going to continue. We're going to continue to discuss music stuff. I actually would like to know what some of your music topics you'd like to see us talk about below. We've got some ideas of what we how we want to move forward, but this show is too damn fun right now, man. Like, it's one of those where it's like, I want to keep this going. I love the interaction that we're having. You guys seem to be digging it. So just, yeah, show up for us. We'll show up for you. We'll make it happen. You know, I'm so excited for everything that will come. So, but either way, I think we've rambled long enough about this. This has been our Even in Arcadia podcast. It's wild that we can even say that in past tense now, because it was such a bitch to get this far. Life is what it does. But regardless, is there anything you would like to tell them before we officially sign off until next week?
Stop watching me cry on camera and talk about Sleep Token. Talk about something else. Just kidding. I like talking about Sleep Token.
We love you guys. We'll see you next time. Adios.